Welcome to The Fire Within. I'm your host, Joel Young, the Okanagan Valley's genuine entrepreneurial talk show where we spend time visiting with genuine Okanagan entrepreneurs and learning of their entrepreneurial spirit. Tonight, dear viewers, we're going to try something a little bit different because I'm going to ask you a question. Do you realize that in our midst of the Okanagan region, we have a world-class, and I repeat, a world-class resort facility at Predator Ridge just outside of Vernon. And tonight, we're going to be visiting our guest, Hans-Peter Meyr, the President and Chief Executive Officer of what you all heard about this last few years, Sparkling Hill Resort. Hans-Peter, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me, Joel.
We've heard Sparkling Hill so many times the last few years. Have you heard? Have you been? Have you seen? People are constantly talking about it, and it's quite exciting because up until lately, particularly for me, particularly the last 6 months to a year, I hardly heard about it. And then all of a sudden, it's like a mushroom. Everybody's talking about Sparkling Hill. The more people that go up there and experience it, and I'm sure you'll verify that for me and the viewers, the more people go up to Sparkling Hill and experience it, the more people will talk about it and share their pleasant experiences with everyone else. Could you share with our viewers tonight a little bit of the background story of Sparkling Hill, of how the seed for the genesis of the idea, because it is truly a unique facility.
Yeah. Of course I will, and what a pleasure being here and have a chance to tell you about our story. Sparkling Hill, the owner of this resort is Mr. Gernot Lange-Swarovski. He's a very famous person in Austria. You might hear about the company Swarovski. Ladies know it normally. It's this crystal company for jewelry and miniatures, but Swarovski is much more. Swarovski has also a department called Crystal Architecture, and this is one component what you see at Sparkling Hill, all these sparkling items. And we installed about 3.5 million Swarovski crystals at our resort, wow, worth close to 10 million Canadian dollars.
Wow!
Yeah.
And those are scattered throughout the facility.
Yes, exactly, yes. You find it almost everywhere, in all public areas, of course in your guest room. If interested, I will explain you a little bit later, a little bit more. Sparkling Hill is owned by one family member out of the company Swarovski, by Mr. Gernot Lange-Swarovski. And he financed this project with his private money, with his private company.
Is he a son of the papa?
This is already the 5th generation. Okay. Swarovski, the company is 120 years old, and his grandfather was a Swarovski, yes.
Okay. Now, before we go on to talk about the facility, I can't help but want to ask, the Swarovski crystals, it's a worldwide company, correct?
Yes.
We just don't find those very special crystals in North America. We can probably find them in Europe or South America, maybe Asia, maybe the Middle East.
Well, I have to explain, all Swarovski crystals are handmade.
Okay.
It's not mined crystals,
okay,
but Swarovski knows how to do it very special, and they have a secret behind it. Nobody knows really. Even the workers are not allowed to work in all departments. And
so they don't get the whole story.
Exactly. Okay. And what makes Swarovski also very special is how they cut the crystals. They have an own department. The company is called Tyrolit. Tyrolit is producing these cutting materials, and they are doing a lot of jobs also for diamond companies. And Tyrolit is even worldwide the leading company producing these cutting materials.
And if that isn't entrepreneurial, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's talk a bit more about the facility. How did this all come to pass?
It's a little bit my fault that Sparkling Hill is in Canada, in beautiful British Columbia, and especially in this beautiful valley. Yes, it is.
Your fault? That's not a fault.
Okay. I was traveling to Canada for vacation reasons for many, many years.
Yes.
And I had only one dream and one wish to be allowed to work and live in Canada once. If I wouldn't have a chance to be here with Sparkling Hill, I would have chosen Canada for my retirement home. I was able to make it earlier, and I thank Mr. Gernot Langes therefore. We call him Mr. Langes, not Langes-Swarovski. Mr. Langes, he liked this idea when I approached him to build a spa, a health spa in Canada. And already during our first meeting, he has reached me his hand and he told me that we will do it together. My background back in Europe was the spa industry, the health spa industry. And I was working for a private company there. We started with one building when I joined this company in 1995. When I left this company after 13 years, we had 8 of these facilities. So the spa business, this is my background. And when I had a chance to speak with Mr. Langes-Swarovski, he bought in this idea mainly because we are doing something good for other people. He would never have invested this amount of money in a hotel project. This is not his business. But because we're able to do something good for our clients, for our guests, he was very interested. And
health and wellness.
Yes, exactly. This is the theme.
And that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah.
And maybe you can now talk a little bit about the location, because when I first heard of the location, because I had friends who used to live at Predator Ridge. They don't live there now. They moved back into Kelowna, but they lived up there, and they were telling me about while Sparkling Hill was being built.
Yes.
And I thought, why here? A beautiful, unique facility there. And you have a story to tell about that.
Yeah. We were looking for a beautiful property with surrounded by serene nature, and we have seen many, many locations in BC. Of course, the islands, Whistler, etc., etc. The Okanagan caught us, and the Okanagan Valley is for sure, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful areas, not only in Canada, worldwide. And I've seen a lot other ones. This location is a property what we were very proud of. First, beside of Predator Ridge, the very famous, well-known golf course. And our building is sitting on top of a ridge. I'm not sure if you're aware, but in the Vernon area, we were the first and we are the only building with a building permit on top of a ridge. The big advantage, we have only good views. There's not one guest room with a bad view. And as we know, hotels, resorts, 50% of the guest rooms are always good. The other 50% might be not as good.
That's great.
Parking, main roads, other buildings, whatever. The city of Vernon decided they would like to keep the landscape as it is, and this is the reason why they don't allow any more buildings on top of hills.
Okay. Oh, period.
Yes.
No more. Well, I have to tell you, as you know, and for the viewing audience, I spent a couple of days with my wife a little bit after Valentine's, the very first time up at Sparkling Hill, and when I made the reservation, the person on the other end of the line asked me about location, and the young lady was very helpful. I met her after we came to check in, Christine.
Yeah.
And the location was tremendous, because when we looked out of our windows in the suite that we were assigned to, we had such a beautiful panoramic view. It was breathtaking, actually.
Yeah.
Breathtaking.
You're absolutely right. This is the location, and you had a chance to see our spa, and the spa is the heart of this whole building. And what many people don't realize yet, this spa is more than a day spa. We are a destination spa for health reasons. We have a natural bath, a doctor on board, all our therapists, and we are providing more than 100 different treatments. Half of this whole spa is really health related.
Okay.
And
you have classes.
Yes,
You have
and
different classes. Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
And Charlie, if somebody books a 1-week health stay, the first visit is our doctor, and he will design a treatment plan
Okay.
exactly regarding your issues. So
Yes, yes.
our only goal is you should leave totally different as you came in
Yeah.
regarding pain relief and improvement in movement.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
that, yes. God knows most of us need that, don't we?
Yeah.
We get to our age. Okay.
true.
And the facility now has officially been open for how
We op-
long?
We opened summer 2010.
Oh, not that long ago.
No,
Not that long ago, summer, okay.
Unfortunately, this was the time where we were very deep in our recession,
Yeah.
economy difficulty. We had to rewrite our business plan because it was the original one written, of course, 2006, 2007, when the economy was doing very well. And we had very conservative goals for 11, and we were able to make them.
Good.
For
good,
2012,
good.
we
Yeah.
had very tough goals, and nobody trusted that we have a chance to come close to it, but we made it again.
Fabulous, good.
And 2013 was another success story, and 2014, the forecast is so excellent, so
Oh, good.
we
good.
are very fortunate.
Must have something to do with the executive management of my guest tonight, I suspect. How many rooms do you have at Sparkling Hill? And I understand you have 3 penthouses?
Yes.
How many rooms in total?
In total, including these 3 penthouses, 152. So
Oh, okay.
149 regular guest rooms
Okay.
and the 3 penthouses.
That's a nice size.
Yes.
And how many staff in the whole building?
We have more than 200.
Wow. Full-time?
Yes.
Wow, wow, wow.
Our spa in itself is more than 40,000 square feet. So this whole building is 240,000 square feet.
That's a pretty big facility.
It is, yeah.
Underground parking, I know, because valet parking, when we moved there, the guy says, valet parking, can I have your keys, Mr. Young? And I said, huh? That also, by the way, before I forget tonight, before we say goodnight, that exit was so smooth,
Oh, I like
so smoothly handled when we checked out, when you saw us there checking out, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, my car was just outside the front door, waiting for me to go.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It's another free service at Sparkling Hill. We
Yeah.
are not charging valet parking like internet
it's a
and
nice
breakfast.
service, yeah. Throughout the course of the year, I noticed, and we mentioned it, I mentioned it to Hans Peter while we were waiting to go on live, that there's a lot of events, and everybody who's watching the show tonight will know there seems to be an incredible amount of charity organizations, charitable organizations having events in the Okanagan year after year, month after month. And now Sparkling Hill has had several of them in its beautiful facility. And so do you make an effort to seek more events? I mean, events, not just charitable events, but events, so that you're always promoting uniqueness to potential customers.
Yes. We have still a lot of events at Sparkling Hill. We have many, many weddings.
Okay.
Sparkling Hill was not built for the wedding business or the corporate business, but this was the first business what we were able to create. And we are very fortunate because even these weddings, they bring so many new customers in. They have
Yeah.
a chance to learn about Sparkling Hill.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will talk about it and bring new
And
guests.
come back.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Come back, yeah. Yeah, I looked at what I mentioned to Hans Peter earlier, also before we went live, that I looked at Sparkling Hill's website this afternoon to familiarize myself additionally to the facility. And I saw the weddings, and I saw the other beautiful website. And we'll talk about the website before we say goodnight to you. Right now, can you talk a little bit more about the specialness of the facility, because it's got the spas and the health side. Talk a bit more about the features to our viewers, please.
Yeah. As we mentioned before, the crystals. This is for sure an attraction. We are worldwide the first public location where people can see crystal architecture from Swarovski. And as mentioned, millions of crystal, beautiful designed.
Yeah.
I mentioned our location and for sure the spa. We have still a winter season and a summer season with different kind of business. The winter season, starting middle of October to end of March, we are so happy that the people from the Okanagan Valley are supporting us because most of our guests during the winter are people from this area. And for a special weekend, for anniversary, whatever, we are offering specials all winter long so that it's affordable.
Good.
Coming in April when the golf season starts and corporate business comes in and wedding business and people from the lower mainland, Alberta and rest of Canada, hopefully more US citizens in the future.
Okay, good.
It's a different image. In summer we have not so many locals, but in winter, to be very honest, we wouldn't be able to open our doors during the winter month without this huge support.
Yes, good, that's wonderful. The one thing also about the Okanagan, it's almost like they're indebted for charities. It's a wonderful community-based region of this province and of Canada for that matter. And people want to explore encouraging the success of other businesses. I think it's part of our culture in Canada. Not just the Okanagan, not just British Columbia, but I think in Canada. Because it just seems that everywhere I go, people are saying such positive things about your facility, about Sparkling Hill. And that's reassuring to me as a customer that, in fact, I mean, it's one thing for me to go there and say, I enjoyed it. But when you talk to so many people, all who say the same thing, there must be something positive there.
We hope so, yes.
Yes, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to go back now to, let's talk a little bit about you. You said earlier tonight in our visit, or today in our visit, that at some point you had this desire about Canada. But you're born and raised in Austria. And have you spent any of your business life throughout Europe or mostly in Austria prior to coming to Canada?
It was in Europe, Switzerland, Germany and Austria.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I never worked overseas. Canada is my very first time.
Okay.
I am a very proud permanent resident and hopefully in a couple of years I might be Canadian citizen.
Oh my.
Yes.
My. Good.
Canada, as I mentioned, has so much to offer. And having a Sparkling Hill resort in one of a major city like Toronto, Vancouver, or back in Europe, business would be easy to make because with the crystals and the spa, people would fall in, successful from the very first day.
Yes,
it's a little bit different being in the Okanagan Valley, but this is exactly where we wanted to be. We wanted to be in the middle of nature so that our guests experience not only our spa and this facility, they have a chance to golf, go for a wine tour, can go to one of the ski hills even. Book heli-ski from Sparkling Hill and use during summertime the beautiful walks and hike ways up there.
So there's excuse me for interrupting, there's more to it than just the beauty of the facility.
It is, yes, absolutely. And this fresh air and
more of a complete package.
Exactly, yes.
If you will. That's one of the things I like about it as well. Now that I've experienced it, Hans-Peter, your management staff and a lot of your employees, I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, that your key managers are sought from Austria. Is that a fact?
We have a couple of them, yes.
Oh, just a couple, okay.
Yes, the reason behind Sparkling Hill is very European inspired and spa, for example, also the kitchen. I love Canadian kitchen very much. And I couldn't say what is better. And I know we have in Canada, I guess, even better chefs than back in Europe. But we wanted to be different. It makes no sense to have the same menu as the Clubhouse at Bridge Ridge or at Earl's or somewhere else. We wanted to be different.
Yes,
and this is
Good.
exactly
Good,
the reason
good,
for.
Good European flavor. And I noticed that when we were checking in, which was after Valentine's, the lobby of the hotel, excuse me, was packed with people, and I was quite amazed. And then we walked into the spa. There was such a friendly atmosphere. So it wasn't just a reception area. It wasn't the impersonal. It was personal, warm, inviting. And then as we left the reception area to walk into the spa to receive our robes and our sandals, etc., all of a sudden it was just a continuation of the warmth we experienced at the reception area on into the spa. And the funny thing that we didn't know until we got there, we were having breakfast in our robes. We could have supper, I think. Could we have supper in the restaurant?
Yes.
With the robes on?
Not the supper, only
Not
lunch
the supper,
and breakfast.
just the lunch and breakfast.
Yes.
Okay. The whole atmosphere, I want our viewers to realize, the whole atmosphere at Sparkling Hill is one of absolute relaxation and comfortability. And as Hans-Peter is emphasizing so wonderfully to us tonight, that isn't just a relaxation spa. It's a health and wellness facility that looks after the health and wellness of your body while you are enjoying and the experience and developing a level of relaxation that becomes memorable and creates a mindset to invite you back without the words. You know, you feel so good you can't help but want to come back for that similar experience.
Sure. Thank you so much for mentioning this. I couldn't describe it better what our goals is. We are working on it. This family atmosphere is very important. Yeah. And you mentioned something. This makes us proud to be in Canada, having all these Canadian employees. Because I can tell you one item, Canadians are much more friendlier than the rest of the world, especially Europeans.
I think so too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Surprising, to me, surprising as it is. And I will add to that statement, Hans-Peter, that different parts of Canada are more friendly than other parts of Canada. Speaking as a Canadian from Central Canada and the Maritimes, to me, are historically known to be very friendly atmospheres from coast to coast.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, and then all of the Maritime provinces. They're all like your neighbors.
Wonderful.
I think we're pretty much running out of time, Hans-Peter. I want to thank you so much for sharing the time about your beautiful facility with our viewing audience. And maybe you could tell the viewers how they could get in touch with you and your facility when they want to make an inquiry.
Thank you so much. Yes, best is you take a look to our website. It's www.sparklinghill.com. Please feel free to phone us for further information. And one item is very important. It's so difficult to talk about Sparkling Hill. You have to see and experience it. It's really a very special location. Joel?
I agree. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you so
tonight.
much. It was a real pleasure. Thank you.
Well, that's it for this week for The Fire Within. I'm Joel Young. Until next time, good night and thank you.